Do you suspect that you or someone else in your life is a highly sensitive person? In this video, we're going to explore the new HSP self test that was recently released by Dr. Elaine Aron and Dr. Michael Pluess, and why it's actually more accurate than the original. So, what does the new HSP test measure? So, it covers 6 core characteristics of the highly sensitive trait, which 20 to 30% of people are born with. So, this has come out of the last 30 plus years of research by scientists all around the world. So, if you're familiar with the DOES acronym, DOES, which Dr. Elaine Aron introduced in her book, Psychotherapy in the Highly Sensitive Person, this includes those 4 plus 2 additional factors. So we get 6 altogether. So, and now we're getting a new acronym, DOES-SS. And there are 3 questions on the test per characteristic. So we shuffle those around for a total of 18 questions. So it's shorter and more succinct than the original test. So the first characteristic is depth of processing. This means you think before you make a decision, before you take an action, and you reflect on your experiences afterwards to integrate and understand. This is the core of the trait. Number 2 is overstimulation, being overloaded by noises, smells, crowds, long to-do lists. And number 3, emotional responsiveness, feeling all your feelings more intensely from high to low. Number 4, social sensitivity, being more empathetic, really reading people and understanding what they're needing and feeling. Number 5, sensitivity to positive experiences. You probably have heard me reference this as differential susceptibility. It means that you're more impacted by stress, but you're also more impacted by positive supports and connections. And the last, number 6, sensitivity to details, picking up on nuances, small changes, body language, you noticing everything. So why is this new test better than the original? It includes the characteristics that were not represented in that original 27 question scale, specifically that depth of processing, but also sensitivity to positive experiences and social sensitivity. So those are new parts of this test. Also, negativity bias has been corrected for. This is a huge one. So there are now positive experiences of being a highly sensitive person being equally represented in this test, where that wasn't the case in the original test. So what this does is it eliminates a lot of false positives, which have led people to believe that high sensitivity isn't real because it looks the same or similar to trauma, to autism, to anxiety, for example. And so we were also missing that depth of processing, which was a huge factor in those false positives, since it's what's at the core of the trait. It's what drives everything else, your emotions, your empathy, your attention to detail. So Dr. Aron has said this many times, that this is the core. So when you put these missing pieces into place, you're pulling out the overlaps with hypervigilance from trauma. You're pulling out the overlaps with sensory sensitivities and overstimulation from autism, for example. So we start to see each one more clearly. So where can you take this test? You might be thinking, how do I access it? So there are 2 places that you can find it. First is on Dr. Elaine Aron's website, hsperson.com. And the second is on the sensitivity research website, sensitivityresearch.com. So I'll make sure that I link both of those tests along with the research study in case you're wondering, you want to find out more about it, in the description. And just to note that the questions are presented with a Likert scale, meaning that you choose from a range of answers from never to extremely. You're not just giving a yes or no answer because it's more complex than that. So when you're going through the questions, you want to answer with what's true most of the time throughout your life, not just right now. And if you're stumped on a question, it's okay to skip it because, again, there's several questions per characteristic, so it'll catch you next time. And when you're taking the test, you might wonder, how do I know if I'm highly sensitive? Well, you'll get an average score of 5 or higher. That's highly likely that you have the traits. But I've also seen people get lower scores. Most people I'm seeing in the 5 to 7 range, I think around a 6.2 if I remember correctly. But also I've seen people get in the 4 to 5 range. So as I've heard Dr. Aron say, no test can determine with 100% accuracy that you have the trait. We have to think about cultural differences, gender differences, personality differences, other factors that shift your perception of what sensitivity is or how well you perceive and accept that sensitivity. So if you decide to take this new test, I hope you will. It was enjoyable for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can share those down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.